Good morning. Welcome back to Metropole Television. Yes, this is Credit in Red. That's what we start this morning. Just want to make a point in that. And we are talking about bad loans. And we are asking the question, are we in the era of bad loans? This morning, we are privileged to be graced by the presence of Abraham Mudogo. Good. Let's get started therefore. Unpaid credit jumped by 11.1 billion shillings to 366.8 billion in April when unprecedented measures imposed to limit the spread of the COVID-19 hit the performance of the economy. Majority of the defaulters fall in the category of workers given facilities based on the strength of their salaries to get into purchases like mortgages, cars, land and school fees. Facilities borrowed on the basis of performance focus have also been affected heavily by the COVID-19 pandemic. Central Bank of Kenya Governor Patrick Njoroge says that this is due to the NPLs in the real estate, trade and manufacturing sectors following a further slowdown in economic activity in these sectors. Now, this now confirms fears that the NPLs in the sector could be approaching the 14% mark, underlying what the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic have been to the economy. Now, even as the numbers now start to come clear of what the effect has been in the sector, the CBK has eased the cash reserve ratio to 4.25%, with even the economic package for businesses being channeled through the banks. Question being therefore, what regulatory reaction do we expect from the CBK in light of these figures if they have to mitigate the rising NPL numbers in the economy? That is the question. And Abraham, you look at it and then you say, yes, we had it coming, but you expect it to reach 13.1%.
Remember, pre-COVID, already the economy was suffering.
Yes.
So what COVID has basically done, it just accelerated that process.
Yes.
Now, turning to what you've just said, the NPLs, they're saying they're headed towards the 14% mark. But remember one thing, CBK the other day gave guidelines that sort of, for lack of a better word, isn't the guidelines for treatment of bad debt.
Yes.
So what am I saying? I'm saying that what would previously fall under bad debt pre-COVID, some of it is now falling under good debt.
Yes.
Because the guidelines in terms of how long something takes before it goes bad or what to do to it has been isn't. So what we are saying, the real NPL could be higher.
Yes.
The real in terms of if we apply the pre-CBK guidelines era, that is the pre-COVID era. Now, we have a challenge here because remember, there's a new financial standard called the IFRS 9.
Yes, which is exactly what I wanted to ask you about this morning.
Yes. IFRS 9. Yes. IFRS 9 is a very ruthless standard that actually not only talks about post-trading activity provisioning,
yes.
It also talks about pre.
Yes.
So that when you're taking a debt, when you're taking a debt in an asset, you're supposed to say, what is the likelihood of this debt going bad as I'm taking it? And you take a provision right there.
Yes.
If that standard was applied now, then we'd have a disaster.
Yes.
So what am I saying? I'm saying that if this thing continues, where we have guidelines that have isn't how we treat assets, and at the same time the IFRS 9 standard has not been revised, then we'll have a problem at the end of the year.
Yes.
Because when the auditors come, they'll apply the IFRS 9 on the book.
Yes.
If they do that, then we will have massive provisioning.
Yes.
So the only hope I think is that, given that this is a world pandemic, it's a world. The problem is worldwide. We probably may hope and pray that the IFRS 9 standard is revised in the year.
Yes.
Because what we have now are two parallel standards: the CBK, what CBK guidelines have said, which is at least to keep the banks afloat, and there's IFRS 9 that's hovering over them. But going now, what are the drivers of this of the bad debt? It is starting from the micro, going to macro, then going back to micro. What do I mean? It started from people not having money in their pockets, which was already happening previously.
Yes.
Then now, when people didn't have money in their pockets, they could not spy the economy in terms of demanding. So when they did not demand, the supply had to come down. And the factors of production had to be let go. That's why you see people are losing jobs.
Yes.
When those people lose jobs, they come and compound this problem. Because now when they get home, they also cannot demand. So now when you see the real estate reeling, because real estate now, on the commercial side, people will demand less office space because people are working from home, for those who are working. Residential, people are scaling down. Those who are doing a 40,000 house are doing a 30,000. They want 30,000 like that. And the ones who are living in Nairobi are moved somewhere else.
Yes.
Then go to hospitality. It is a very sad case. Hotels, without mentioning names, even around where we are right now, are literally
they're still closed.
They're closed.
Yes.
So we have a hotel, which the other day I saw a circular which says everybody from GM to cleaner, everybody paid 10K. So that's where we are. So imagine somebody who was earning $500,000 being told 10K. What do you do with it? You see? So the picture is a bit grim. Then I'm seeing you've talked about the cash reserve. Lowering the cash reserve simply releases more money to the banks.
Yes.
But does not presuppose that money will find its way to the people.
Yes.
Because banks have their own criteria of how they let money go to people.
But I want to point you out to what the cash reserve actually did the other day, because we didn't know that we released 35 billion into the market.
Yes.
But Abraham, I want to talk to you to an area where it sort of was contradicting in the sense that the CBK came out there with the Treasury and told them, well, you gotta give people this money despite of the record with the CRBs around. Your credit score was not going to stop you from getting given money.
True.
Why are you forcing banks to give people money, but in reality, what is happening over the other side is that now, despite of the fact that yes, an SME is going to come for that money, there is no guarantee that this is going to be a performing facility.
You see, I think, with due respect to CBK, I think that's being ambitious.
Yes.
You cannot force a bank to lend. You can't, because all banks have their own credit policies.
Yes.
And their own have their areas of appetite and the areas that they don't have appetite.
Yes.
So when you give them their money, then you should give them the discretion to put the money where they should.
Yes.
Because remember, yes, from a monitoring and supervision perspective, they report to CBK. But from a business perspective, they report to their shareholders. And the shareholders have put their money for no other reason other than to get a return.
Yes.
So those two conflicting. So for that 35 billion that went back, CBK even went further and told them that they have to do a monthly return to show of their portion of that 35 billion, what have they done with it. So what will happen with them? They'll just hold it. Because you cannot ask me that. I'll just tell you I've not lent it. There's nothing you can do to me.
Yes.
But meanwhile, I'm making some money out of it. So some of these interventions, we really need to think about them a bit further. Because ultimately, the solution comes to, whichever you do it, putting money in people's pockets.
Yes.
Whichever you do it. Whether you give them stipends, the way most countries in the world are doing, where you mail everybody some money.
Yes.
Or you get them something to do. Because until people start demanding,
yes,
we will not jump that.
So are you spelling doom now for the banking sector?